Okay, so the skill I'm going to show you today is how to create a rubric. It's not a question type per se. You can apply it to different sorts of questions. It could be a file upload. It could be an essay. It could be a paragraph. But you have to create the rubric in order for that to be available. So I'm going to go to Create, Formative. And I'm going to call it Informative Writing Assignment. I'm going to add a question. For right now, I'm just trying to create the rubric, so it doesn't really matter what type I pick. I'm just going to pick free response. It'll create the rubric no matter what, and it'll save it. So I'm just going to scroll down to Settings and toggle on Use Rubric. That's when my Create Rubric pops up. Click on Create Rubric. So super important, you do need to name your rubric before you get into the weeds of doing all of the particulars about it. So I'm just going to call it Informative Essay. And you can be even more specific in the description if you wish. I'm going to choose 3 different criterion, and then I'm going to do different levels depending on what each one needs, just so you can get an idea. So my first criteria is organization. My second is evidence. And my last is conventions. So you can be as full in your description as you want to. You can outline all of those things. You can be a little more general with evidence. I could just type use evidence from the text to support your answer. With conventions, of course, that would be capitalization, punctuation, grammar, etc. Now for me, I only like to do 2 points worth on conventions because it really doesn't matter that much. So the highest I ever give on conventions is 2, and notice I can change the point value, and once it changes it for one, it adjusts for the other. So I can make one of them worth 0 points if I want to. Of course, this would be proficient. Oops. The middle would be approaching. And then the one where 0 points would be below. For evidence, I feel that it needs 4 points. And then, of course, you would go through and type in all the descriptions. So I'm just trying to give you the quick version so you know how to construct it on your own. With evidence needing 4 points, that means that this top one would be above proficiency. Proficient. Approaching. And below. So we're hoping that they do at least a little bit of evidence. We can give them at least 1 point on evidence. And for organization, again, your introduction, the supporting details, the conclusion, the transition words, all of those can help gain points. So I believe that should be worth 4 points as well. I don't have to change those points because it automatically starts with 1 point on the left and goes all the way to 4 points on the right. And again, if you are, oops, I misspelled that, sorry. Proficiency. I'll just do proficient. There we go. And you can copy and paste if you are a fan of copying and pasting. Or you can type it. Anything to save time, right? And then whenever I do this, I always go through and I'm very specific in each of these boxes so that each of the students know how they can get each of the points. But you're tailoring it to your assignment, your point values. That's what they are looking for. So that's why you are the one to create it, not to take one that's already been made. Obviously, I would keep going until I've described everything in these boxes, but when I was done, I would click Add Rubric, and now it's automatically tagged to this assignment. Then I can go up and describe all the things I need them to, the directions they need before they start. But the nice thing is, once they have that, and they can look at it as they're writing their essay or as they're turning in their project, when you are grading it, the rubric and the assignment are side by side. They're always together, so you can always refer back to it if you need to in the future. That's how you create a rubric.